Tell me more about your week.
I was in Costa Rica for the week. I just went to unplug, meditated every day, worked out every day, ate a lot. Put the whole balance thing in perspective, and you know the 4 pillars that we talked about last week, and in every aspect, right? Knowing when to push and when to kind of step off the pedal and let things flow. Knowing when to, move forward and try to accumulate money, and knowing when to back off. Knowing when to push and schedule more clients, and knowing when I need to step away and meditate. And whether it's, geographically speaking, I'm toying with the idea of moving down there for 6 months a year in the winter time. So just creating an entire life of balance. I think I've been so focused on speaking about it and then trying to talk to others about, hey, like, if you do this, you're going to create balance, but not really embracing it and living it myself. And I think that was a lot of what the introspection manifested for me last week. And it goes back to the idea of the show here is it all starts with a choice, and I can choose to be busy and hectic and 12 months a year, or I can choose to, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to move away, but I think society there is much more conducive to a life of, hey, like, I'm going to work, but I'm not going to kill myself doing it. And society here is like, hey, you're in the grind, and you're going and you're going and you're going. So I think that was probably the biggest thing as well.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Facebook video, check it out. It's pretty cool.
It was unbelievable. It was cloudy the first part of the day, and I used some of the tools and the things that we learned in Training and Power, which is I'm going to be able to teach it soon. So and Jacob, who we were talking about earlier, he teaches it as well. But so I used some of the tools for that, and just more or less my intention of hey, I don't want it to be cloudy anymore. And within 2 hours, the sun was shining. Another hour, I looked up, and there was this the sun was perfectly centered inside of a rainbow, and it was, awesome. It just looked like a great big eyeball looking down, and it was there for like 2 hours.
That's awesome.
It was unbelievable. I got chilled, like 100 degrees out, and I had chills. So it was pretty cool experience.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
it'd be the right place in the world for that stuff to even happen. I remember my folks retired out of the city of Belleville. You get the double rainbow all the time. Never really saw that before, like a rainbow and a rainbow kind of in behind and over it.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. I think it's a really good topic for us to go on, like that structuring balance. I think it might be a whole topic we can talk on and have guests around that. And it made me think immediately, and I wish I remember the gentleman's name. It was a TED Talk that I listened to. Mm-hmm. It was about retiring now versus retiring later. Basically, the premise was this: he's a designer, a very, very renowned designer. So granted, he's doing this at the point of his career where he had enough contracts coming in and enough cash saved up to really do this comfortably. But he realized at a certain point, okay, if I retire at 65 and live for 20 years kind of doing nothing, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to retire those 20 years into my work schedule now. Mm-hmm. So I work for 6 months and I don't work for 6 months. I work for 3 months and I don't work for a year. I work for just letting that 20 years be part of the whole project and work until I'm 85 or 90. And who cares, because I'm doing what I love to do anyways.
Absolutely. And
spreading that time in there. I was like, man, that has resonated with me and stuck with me. And it pops up in little different ways, and it's coming up hard when I hear you describe your experience down there and bringing that balance into the mix right away. Particularly in juxtaposition to my own last week, which was pure on Toronto, like, all this stuff going on. And this person, 4 Skype meetings this week, talking to someone in Denver, talking to someone who's moving to LA shortly, like, how do we strategize getting down there, making a pitch and proposal to travel around to go to these places, and trying to also have a practice and see my family and have some me time.
And it's all good stuff, but the things you said at the end, and that's the way most people kind of leave everything, is having some me time and time for my family, right? And then we look, right at the end, right? And that was what I kind of clicked into, and I've been saying it for years, right? Like, I look at my parents, God bless you, I love you. But they live to work, right? They don't work to live, they live to work, and that's all they do. And even 10 years ago, or longer than that, probably 20 years ago, when I was still living at home, still living with them, I grew up thinking, you know what, I love you guys, but I'm not going to work until I'm 65 and then figure out, hey, if I still have my health, then I'm going to enjoy life, right? And I've been saying it for the last 20 years, but I think it kind of finally clicked into me that shit, I'm doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do. And that was my vow there to myself. Just, I'm not going to continue to do that. I'm not going to come back here and get back into the same habitual routine of like, gotta go, make the money, right? And so I think that's what I want to, I gotta prove it to myself first, and then I think, once I do that, you guys can listen to me, but until I do it, I'm gonna talk. So I've got to make that commitment and actually break away from the perceived chains of society, and really just live that life of balance.
A plan, and as much as I think I'm guilty of that, like good intentions are great. I'm aware of lots of things. I think most people today, at least people who are going to tune into this, are aware of the importance of balance and aware of the importance of exercise and downtime and those things. And it's good to be aware of it. I take more action than I would otherwise if I didn't think it was valuable. I'm sure it's helpful, but you have to have a plan for it. So if you're going to search for a property and getting that set up for 6 months of the year and all the things that go into planning that, you're much more likely to get down there and make use of that and create that balance. You gotta make a plan, execute the plan, see how it goes, modify, change things, and you're around for a long time.
Don't be stuck, right?
Yeah.
Don't be stuck in
but you gotta do it.
Yeah.
I still gotta do it. Like I stepped away from my job to build a place that I wanted to be in and bring some good energy around. I've done that, but I haven't consciously put a plan in place. It's like when sign a lease on a meditation space, I signed a lease on a workspace.
Mm-hmm.
So I would make a plan specifically, set aside financial and energetic time and energy towards making another thing happen and become. It's not going to happen just out of good intentions.
No.
It's a different game when you lead by example.
In terms of the balance, the push pull, or a huge one of the biggest laws is force negates. So not trying to force anything, right? So
Equal and opposite.
Yeah. So if my goal is to get down there in October, or whatever our goals are, if I'm trying to really make that fit and it's not fitting, all the pieces aren't falling into place, then it's either not the right time, or the money isn't a fit, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes if it's a push, then you got to kind of step back and say, wait a minute, why are things not aligning? Why are things not lining up? Right? So again, it's that balance, right? So if all the things start to align, then it's like, okay, that's the right destination. And
I'm not gonna lie, in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, do it.
Can't do it.
Costa Rica, do it.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
Totally selfish.
I think a lot of us
totally should. Do it, man.
I'm gonna do my best, man. So
That's awesome.
yeah, you're welcome anytime. Bring the cast and crew down from.
Oh yeah.
100%.
100%.
Shoot down there.
100%.
That's awesome.
There's so many unique ways to do this, and putting it out in the universe, part of this show, a conscious endeavor.